4, 3. This afternoon I'm here with a dynamic person. I've known her for over 28 years, and she has been a magnificent contribution to the Society of St. Maarten, where there's 2 schools that bears her name. A professional educator, supposed to be retired but still not because of her passions. Her name is none other than Asha Stevens. Good afternoon, Asha. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Gramey. It's such a pleasure to meet you again, and that was, so divinely provided, that meeting with you just the other day.
Yeah, we met by accident, and boom, now we're here doing an interview.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize you after so many years because you are young and you're growing and changing.
Yeah.
And I have kind of stopped at some point. Yeah, how far can you go? God has given me all these years that He could, and now I'm just trying to be grateful and make use of each moment that I have.
Yeah, you and me both. I'm now full of hobbies because once you retire, you need them, you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
So true.
Yeah. So today, I'm already losing my memory, and I don't know about you, but I want to take you way back to when you were little Asha.
Wow. Okay.
You know, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years old, before your teenage years, just way back to see who you were back then.
Well, my mom did something unusual when I was born. She decided to call me Asha. Asha means hope.
Are you serious?
Yes. For her, I was the youngest child. I'm not sure if she was expecting me or whatever. Doesn't matter. The fact is that she called me Hope, and when my dad returned, a few days after I was born, he decided to call me Gargi Devi. So Gargi Devi is a Indian warrior goddess.
Okay.
But again, that's what really, I believe, made my life what it is. Mom had a plan, and Mom had a wish. And you know, mother's wishes usually come true.
Yeah.
And as much as my dad wanted me to be a warrior goddess, whatever, Mom just wanted me to be the hope, and not just for her, but for others. And her will came true. So as a child, when you ask me in my younger days when I was growing up, what I do remember, and that stands out in my mind, is that there was a hunger for meaning of life, because I saw a lot of pain and suffering around me. We were not rich. It was a farming district where I grew up, and one beautiful thing about it is that I grew up in nature, and I learned how to milk cows, and how to appreciate, just like I could pick anything like the okras, the
Pigeon peas?
yeah, anything from the garden, and just eat it.
Mm.
And you know, I was kind of spoiled, so my parents didn't mind if I would pick the young vegetables and just put it in my mouth. But I grew up in that kind of situation, and it was just beautiful. So as a child, I really had a hunger for more. I wanted to know what is life all about. And then I wanted to, my father was a priest, Hindu priest, and he I could sit with him and I could talk to him, and he would read from the Vedas, those are the holy books. And then came a time that I really wanted to know more. I said, Dad, I want to read too. And he said, no, but it's just not possible. I said, why? Anyway, it will take a whole day and night just to tell you that story, but I'll make it very brief. You have to be clean, pure, and that means a total vegetarian. And he was the only one that was that. But I told him that's not a problem because I like to eat with you anyway. I will eat from your plate. So no problem, Dad, that's solved.
Yeah.
That was not that easily done. He said, okay, but you are a female. And I looked at me, okay, what is coming now? What, female? So he said, and you're going to marry one day. And I shook my head. Mm-mm. He said, everybody at your age would do that, but there comes a time that you have to get married. And I thought, okay, so how do I get out of this one? And I mean, I tried everything, but I couldn't convince him. So here, look what's happening in the 8, 9, 10 years old. I started to doubt that whole concept of nirvana, that's heaven, in my mind. But if that's true, then how could my own dad not want me to go there? So anyway, this is how things started to happen. Before you know, I was had lost everything about finding God because I was so close. I would only sing, the bhajans, as they call it, and the religious songs that Dad would sing. He was a singer, he was a musician, he was a very talented man. But again, I lost everything until the time that I was a teenager. I think you were going to ask me that anyway.
That's my next question. So you get out of that. So where did you grow up? What country did you grow up in?
Suriname.
Suriname, okay.
And it was a district, the Nikeri, and that's the rice district.
Okay.
It's known for its agriculture and production of rice.
Okay.
So yes, I grew up among plants and all of those things.
So then you go into your teenage years, you have all your doubts, you have your fears. What did you, because of the doubts and fears, did you have any aspirations and dreams as to where you would like to?
I was trying to look at my friends and see where they were heading, and the peer pressure type of thing at some point, and that took me in the kind of wrong direction but I wasn't happy. I tried to find happiness in just going to parties with them, but I was like what they call the wallflower. I was not that open, and I felt
kind of alone even when you're in a crowd.
Lonely.
Yeah.
So there was still that hunger was still there, but I was trying to diminish it somehow, but it wasn't working until the time that I had to go home to study for my exams, and all of a sudden I realized I hadn't done any studying. And this is going to be a big disappointment for my parents. When I realized that, I really felt bad. And that's when one of my nieces one day brought me a little, what they call the tracts, and a little piece of paper. And he said, Auntie, a Dutchman on a motorbike dropped this off. There were 2 or 3 people, and they were sharing all these things. So I said, what is it? So in Dutch, it says, you have not asked, but ask and it shall be given to you. And knock and it will be open to you. And I looked at it, I said, what kind of weird saying is this? What could this now mean? But that night, somehow, when I tried to study, everybody's gone to bed, and I'm trying to study, I decided, And I couldn't. And my sister said I was so angry those days. I would throw the books left and right and just scream in frustration.
Frustration, yeah.
And at night, I looked at that piece of paper and something, I just went outside on the balcony. And I said, you know, I don't know who you are, but I have a lot to ask. And I feel sorry. I've done so many bad things. I felt like I have sinned and the whole world was now closing on me. But I was just, you know, not studying. And that felt like a big betrayal to my parents who trusted me. And I just said, whoever you are, listen to me. I'm asking. And you said, ask and it will be given to you. So please give me some wisdom. And because I don't know where to start. There are 7 subjects and I don't know much about any. There are 2 or 3 I'm good at. That comes naturally, but the others I don't know much. Do you know? I went inside and all of a sudden it was like a huge peace came over me. And I opened the books and somehow it was like somebody is guiding me through it. And long story short, I did pass the exams.
Wow.
And the next thing was I wanted to know more. I got a Bible and that's how my life changed.
Okay.
I believed every word. I took it literally. I said to my mom, I went to one of the preaching nights, they what you call opwekking evenings, and the pastor that was preaching, he couldn't stay in Suriname because most people didn't like him because of he was drawing too many people to him. And it was like, he had to leave and go to Guyana. I told Mom, I really like to go to Guyana because I want to be baptized by him. I want really to become a new creature. Because it says if you baptize, and it has to be in water, not with a few drops of water. I learned at those days that, you know. So we did all of that. And Gramey, that's what happened to me.
Full change around.
Yes.
So, given everything that you've gone through, if you were to just think about now, because back then there was no internet, there was no social media, all this distraction didn't exist. If you were a teenager now, do you think you'll have or go through the same process, or with everything that you know now, do you think you might have gravitated towards this new world and the internet because you would have been born into it? What kind of teenager do you think you would be?
If I were to be a teenager now,
yeah,
it would be a totally different story, because everything is, all the knowledge is at your fingertips.
Yeah.
And I mean, with AI and all those things, in my time, we had no distractions at all. I mean, and that's something that I feel so grateful that I've been able to cross over from one century to the other. And in the 1900s, there were not many things. But what we had, we appreciated it. And now that when I look around, for me, it's hard to imagine being a teenager now, because, yeah, but it's just too many distractions.
Yes.
And I would say I would be a total lost case, I think, because I would be interested in everything. When I was growing up in that farm, there were distractions, but there were beautiful distractions. Like, I would want to know where the bee is flying, where these ants are building these things. I was curious for all those things. And I looked at how the flowers would come out from the vegetable plants, like eggplants, for instance. Those little things that would come out, so wow. And then I saw it growing. And those things just fascinated me.
Right.
But now there is no time because of this.
Yeah.
This rules us, our life, from the moment we get up to the time we go to bed.
And the thing is, the distractions that we had before, even when I was growing up, they were real things. The distraction we have now is not real. It's all a facade. It's make believe.
Yes, it's all a
yeah.
facade. It's not real. True.
Yeah, it's not real, and so many kids don't, because they're given a screen from the time they're 3 or 4 years old to keep them distracted or quiet. The distraction continues through adolescents and young, and teens
To
and
them,
stuff like
that's
that.
normal.
Yeah, it's
And
their
that's
normal.
how they are brought into this world and introduced to that kind of stuff immediately. And it's so sad.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so sad, but Gramey, I've pondered about it, and I don't see a solution except God, who said, when you see all these things happening, know that the time is near.
It's near.
And we just have to make sure our lamps are filled,
Yes.
and that He doesn't come and find us,
Empty.
without the burning lamp, because then it will be disastrous.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm ready for Him. But at the same time, I'm not giving up on our youth. That's why I still believe so much in the schools. I really think that God has a plan and purpose to keep me alive still, and still giving me the strength and as much as possible the health. I'm struggling with a number of things, but I think as long as He wants me to be here on planet Earth, I will do the best I can to uplift His name and to fulfill the purpose that He placed me here for.
Yes.
And that's my belief, and that's what I would like the children to know, that it's not all lost. The choice is theirs.
Yes.
And every child has a hunger for purity, for real life, meaningful life, not just life,
Meaningful life. Yeah.
life. There is something that God has put there in our heart, but we just, all the noise around us just...
Yeah, we need to focus on the
Yes.
signal and block out
Yes.
all the noise.
And continue to nurture that and look for it, and God will provide.
Yes. Because that's what we're here for. We're here for His kingdom on earth as it is in
That's it.
heaven. So,
It's a little pilgrimage
yeah,
that we're passing through.
definitely.
Yes.
So now that you're semi-retired, I have to call it?
I am really
Retired.
retired, but I'm in the transition,
You're in the transition.
because I still want to make sure that everything runs properly, and that my successor doesn't get frustrated, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's definitely
So-
not just one school, but 2 schools and primary schools.
Yes, and we like it to be the very best, and
Yes.
and that takes a lot of
A lot of
work
effort,
and
right?
effort.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to assist him just a little bit. And
Yeah.
in a few months, I think I will. When I see you again next
Yes,
time,
yeah.
you will see me really looking much more relaxed.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I want to do an interview with him too, but I'm not going to get a chance to meet him on this trip. But
Well, I think it's best to do it next trip,
yeah.
because he will be so well prepared.
yeah, and then I'll, so
Yeah.
you can remind him for me, work requires efforts, effort produces results, results matter. And that's all he need to
Yes.
use, That's something I learned as a child. So.
Yep, so true.
So with that said, you're retired, because my next question would be, so with everything that you've done in education, would you say you've lived your dream, or at what point was it you working or not working and just living out your dream?
For me, because I love my work and I have such a great passion for what I'm doing, and I see the purpose behind it, to me, work is like play.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So,
I do feel like sometimes I wish I had more time to be in the garden and to grow all these plants, because right now and God knew that, because it's plants and sustainability through our own agriculture. We can do a lot, and that's what I'm busy now. That's why the drone guy is coming. Hope he's there to take a picture of the back of the school, because that's where our greenhouse is.
Okay.
And that's where our sensory garden will come. And I like to do the same in St. Peter's.
Okay.
So we like to teach our children how to grow our own vegetables, our own produce, and all those things like sweet potatoes, tire, cassavas. All these things grow underground in case something hit, like an awful hurricane, and no ships are coming, no boats, ships, boats. Then we are stuck.
Yeah.
But these are products produce that stays good for at least a few weeks.
Yes.
They don't spoil.
And we could grow them ourselves, and if everyone grows something, we'll have everything.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So I like the kids to learn that at school. And at home, even on a small balcony, they can learn to grow in pots. And
what my wife does, she grows okra, we have lemon, tomatoes, tea bush. Even though we live in America, we love it with tea bush.
Right.
And there's a couple other things she does. I think is one of the things that you use for seasoning to cook with, and yeah. So
perhaps.
Yeah, she loves that,
Yeah, but that's what we can do, and
Yes.
we cannot give up, because sometimes the aphids and the flies, they just mess up the plants. But we just have to allow them a little bit. But then the iguanas came and discouraged me also, and I don't like them anymore. They are not my friends anymore, because they eat up all the fruit trees. So now we have to find a way to get rid of them, because the plan is to get all kinds of fruit trees on the property.
Very good, interesting.
And, yes, so those are the plans. And yes, I have lived my life, and it has been a beautiful life. God has been protecting me and guiding me throughout.
Very good. And so my last question, which I know is right up your alley, but you may still have to use a little bit of your imagination. You're at full assembly. You have both campuses together in one place, and you're going to leave. There's an SUV waiting for you outside. It's a black one. And they're going to whip you off to the airport, where you're going to get a private flight back to Suriname. They're going to be over there celebrating you, giving you a Lifetime Achievement Award. What is the last words you'll give to your full assembly before you leave?
That is a tough one. When you say leave, it's just to go and come back.
And come back, yeah.
Well, this has become my country. St. Maarten is where I learned to live, and everything that I learned is here. So the people that I would leave behind, I would tell, Auf Wiedersehen, I'll see you in a bit. And whatever they are planned for me, I'm not so sure if I'm that eager to receive awards. After all, there is a bigger award waiting in heaven. That's where we're going to get the crown. And that's, for me, that's beautiful. But if people want to acknowledge that, hey, here's somebody who, because of the love of God, because God's guidance and direction, she has been able to touch many lives, and they want to give God the praise and glory, then it's all right. But that's not the main thing. I wouldn't be like, oh my, this is so beautiful. No. I will accept it, but not like it's the end. Yeah, this is it. Ultimate.
What would be the last word to the kids before you go in the black SUV?
I would say, kids, don't forget what I have taught you and all the lessons. Keep praying, because without that, the plane will crash and you may not see me again. So I will just make sure that they understand that faith, don't let go of your faith, and just keep thanking God. And that's one thing that I do every day, just make sure that the heart is filled with gratitude. And I like the kids to be grateful for that. Hey, it's their founder of their school that is going to receive something, and we're going to be praying for her for safe return.
Okay, very nice. Asha, it was a pleasure talking to you and seeing you again, you know, because like I said, we met like 28 years ago, and with your late husband,
Yeah, thanks
me
to him.
me and him became kind of close. We had some nice exchanges, and because of the Navy League and his volunteering his time got me to start volunteering, and that's where I met my wife.
Look at that.
And so we're together for 28 years, married for 24, have a beautiful 25-year-old, and it was basically a connection from him that started this entire chain of events. So
Yes, this is so amazing.
yeah. So,
Yes.
thank you very much for your time.
You're
been a
welcome,
pleasure.
and thank you, Gramey, and God continue to bless you.
Thank you so much.